Darth Vader ain't got nothing on Akamura Soga.
Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Chihiro got one warning. 1. You're my sister's kid? I'd prefer not to kill you. And he says it like it's for his sister's sake. Like he doesn't want her rolling in her grave. But Akamura has a job to do.
My tiny junk cock and I have a job to do.
He don't give a rat's ass if Chihiro is his blood relative. I'm starting to believe if Chihiro was actually Akamura's son instead of Kunishige's, Chihiro would still receive the same shish kebab treatment he got at the end of this chapter from Akamura, with his unparalleled genius. Kunishige and Samura put their stocks into Chihiro, and what does he do? He breaks the one gift his father put his heart and soul into. It ain't looking good, so let's talk about it. If you're new or a returning viewer to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Please hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate y'all. Previously on Kagurabachi, we learned how broken the Magatsumi is. The wielder can spam life force concentrated attacks by stealing life from others. He doesn't have to drain his own life force. Shoot, that's how you stay rich. You spend other people's money. Battle ensues, and the Swordmaster is whipping ass. He makes other speed demons look bad, and one of his opponents can teleport. Make it make sense. It's a reverse jumping out here, and Chihiro unlocks Enten's true realm, the ultimate deterrent to the Magatsumi. Now, without diving into major spoilers just yet, my overall impression of chapter 108 is pure disbelief. I was not expecting to wake up to this. I went in excited for Chihiro to showcase his new power, and Chihiro was moving like we've never seen before. He was leaving after images, and then he had the Neo dodging bullets from the Matrix moment. But still, I was afraid for him every time I flipped the page. I told myself the only way Chihiro and Samura get out of this alive is with backup arriving. Spoiler alert, backup never came. This was a pure fighting-based chapter with a lot of narration and internal monologues. It did make the chapter wordy, but it did not take anything away from the fight. It felt like a chess match. The Magatsumi is capable of this, but the Enten can maneuver around that. The Magatsumi is in a different class from the other enchanted blades, but Enten ain't like the other enchanted blades. It was designed specifically to counter the Shinichi and dance freely. Or so they had us believing. Such an exciting and heart-wrenching chapter. Amazing fight choreography and artwork. I'm at a loss of what happens next. Alright, full spoilers from here on out for Kagurabachi chapter 108. You've been warned. Chihiro leveled up big time. For some time now, we have wondered how Chihiro could possibly close the gap between himself and the original sword bearers. We saw how Akamura's speed was a problem last chapter, but Chihiro shows us a new speed feat of his own. With Nishiki active, he is moving fast enough to create perfect after images of himself. His reaction time increased as well, as we saw when he used Akka to absorb the full impact of a point-blank dragonfly, which we've seen do this. There's actually more to Chihiro's eyes while in Enten's true realm. To the naked eye, Akamura's butterfly can cut through space itself. The lag after he swings his sword is so infinitesimal, the word instantaneous fails to capture it. What kind of line is that? That is a freaking bar. And Chihiro was able to read what essentially was a world-cutting slash. I bet even though Chihiro's Aga wasn't able to fully absorb Dragonfly, it still gave Chihiro a better visual understanding of how Akamura's attacks work, resulting in Chihiro being able to read the matrix. He could see the ones and the zeros and hear, perceive, and see the pathway of Akamura's butterfly. I don't know how many people can actually draw blood from the Swordmaster, but Chihiro is now one of them. A critique I do have, however, is the implication that if Chihiro was fully healed, he would have stood a better chance against Akamura, which technically is true, but the fight ends with Chihiro doing all that for a drop of blood. Think about it. What would a fully healed Chihiro have been able to do? Give Akamura 2 paper cut sized wounds? Where the battle between Enten versus Magatsumi can arguably now be considered on a level playing field, the battle between Chihiro versus Akamura is not. The Magatsumi can no longer trap or suck the life force out of Chihiro. And the Enten, well, it's mainly an offensive weapon. So now we're down to experience, swordsmanship, and which sword has the bigger bang. Akamura wins in all 3 categories. Did he even break a sweat? He followed Chihiro's movements, his attacks overwhelmed Chihiro's Aka, and the second he acknowledged Chihiro as a samurai who will fight to the death for his ideals, he was quick to give him a samurai's death. Do you know how embarrassing it looks for someone to yank your sword down with their bare hands, break it in 2, and then stab you in the heart within a blink of an eye? Chihiro said it himself. He still didn't grasp his unparalleled genius, his untouchable mastery of the sword. As entertaining as the fight was, I disliked how ambiguous the power scaling is. It's honestly impressive that Chihiro could wound Akamura even a tiny bit, but I can't tell if Akamura was actually going all out or taking things easy on Chihiro or hesitating to still kill him. We didn't need Uncle Akamura to put belt to ass in a long-awaited spanking to beat the rebellious phase out of Chihiro, just to understand that Chihiro is not ready to contend at this level. This chapter only gave us a glimpse of Chihiro's potential. He still has a lot to learn. I say the reason why Chihiro was able to cut the sword master in the first place is because he was completely underestimated. Just look at how fast Akamura ended the fight after realizing that. The first-hand information Chihiro gained from fighting Akamura will bear fruit in the future. You know, after Chihiro gets revived by the Dragon Balls. It's subtle, but is Samura sacrificing his life right now? Akamura confirms this when he said Samura's headed inexorably toward death. Inexorably? What the fuck, dude? Making me Google such an unnecessary, sophisticated word mid-manga read? You threw off my flow. But never mind what's being said. You can see Samura going silent as he prioritizes healing Chihiro. Just look at how sad this looks. Samura healed his own eyes only to watch his own death. This is brutal to take in. I joke, but I love Samura and I feel like I just met the guy. I'm not ready to let him go. W support fighter. Okay, let's get into the artistic choices. When these fish come out, I'm hyped. I think we first saw Shadow Clone Fish Jutsu with Kuro Shred, then in Chihiro's last fight with Samura, and now he's maybe masking his presence within his multiple fish-shaped spirit energy. Which brings me to my next point, the after images. That double page spread was freaking sick. Were they after images from moving so fast? Could they just have been water clones? Doesn't matter. Akamura said 2 can play at that game. Shout out to the little explanation sketches. I love them. It was a bit off-putting to use these kitty sketches to describe such a devastating attack to be caught in by the sword master. Though, lastly, I love the explanation of Aka's secondary ability to analyze the function of any ability it absorbs. Through absorbing Dragonfly, we learned that it channels black energy into various forms. The next time Akamura used Butterfly, Chihiro was literally able to see the traces of a black blotted line before its space-tearing impact. Sickest sequence of events I've read in a long time. I don't know if y'all caught that. Probably my biggest critique of this chapter is Chihiro having the nerve to get killed yet again. I wonder where Hokazono is going with this and what he expects us to feel right now. He's creating an amazing story, but Chihiro already died, like 2 weeks ago in the narrative's timeline? Shocking moment, but you know, he'll be alright. Get up, Chihiro. Walk it off. Thank you everyone for tuning in and sticking around this long. This chapter exceeded my expectations. I hope y'all enjoyed it just as much as I did. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm Nappy Hair Josh signing off. Until next time, stay as sharp as these blades.